Hey everybody, and welcome back to High Powered Insights. My name is Marissa Kiesler, and today I am joined by Bradley Garrett. Today is a really special episode because it's National Battery Day. National Battery Day is February the 18th, and for those of you that may not have realized this is in fact an actual holiday. And honestly, I don't think I realized that this was an actual holiday until I started working at Proterra almost 5 years ago now, and so that means I've been celebrating National Battery Day for nearly 5 years now. Bradley, maybe you can give the audience a little bit of an introduction and tell us what you do at Proterra.
Okay, yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Bradley Garrett. I am a business development manager here at Proterra. In business development, we are our outbound sales team. So we work to find new partners and find solutions that our batteries can fit into, and not just fit, but help them drive, their fleets and their customers to electrification.
Yeah.
So glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So what is National Battery Day? I mean, if you think about it, you've probably interacted with some battery at some point in your day, even before you get out of bed. If you're like me, I use my phone alarm to get up in the morning. I probably interacted with 100 little things around my house that has a battery in it. So I wanted to maybe just start out by sharing a little bit about what National Battery Day is and the history behind it. Maybe, Bradley, I'm curious, do you know where National Battery Day comes from?
I don't. I have no idea, but quick Googling, I found out a fun fact that 99% of lead acid batteries are actually recycled.
Oh, wow.
So it is the most recycled consumer product in the world.
Wow, that's actually quite impressive. I'm surprised that many actually gets recycled, because we're talking about a lot of batteries, a lot of different applications. We're not just talking commercial vehicles. We're talking about computer batteries and cell phone batteries and all those things. Wow, that is actually a fun fact I did not know.
Yeah.
So a little bit of history on National Battery Day. It was actually established to celebrate the birthday of Alessandro Volta, who was an Italian guy who was born on February the 18th in 1745. He is an Italian physicist who actually invented the first true battery, the voltaic pile, which I'm going to say that totally wrong, but that was actually back in the 1800s. So first battery was invented in the 1800s, and now we celebrate the guy who invented it on his birthday.
That's awesome. And fun fact, that's also where we get the word volt from, right?
Yeah, that makes, isn't it kind of cool that he had a fun last name? Could you imagine being like, hey, we measure that in Kiesler's or Garrett's? Like, it's kind of nice that the guy...
It would not flow. It would not flow.
So the volt is actually the unit of electrical potential, right? So it's named after him. His invention was basically the first device that could essentially produce a steady, continuous electric current, which, again, back in the 1800s, that was completely and totally revolutionary. And now, again, we're celebrating that, and it's really cool to see just the transition from when he first developed that first battery to what we're doing today.
Yeah, honestly, it's wild to think about how far we've come from that first, pile battery, as he calls it, to where we are now. I mean, it was literally a stack of copper and zinc discs, and they were actually separated by cloth that was soaked in salt water. And so, imagine if we were selling batteries with cloth soaked in salt water. But now, right, we're doing something totally different, and we're powering heavy-duty construction equipment, container handlers, right? These 40-foot long transit buses, really this big equipment, right? And we're doing that all through battery power, right? In most cases. And so really that evolution is pretty incredible to me to see how far we've come.
It really is. Maybe something fun, because Bradley, you've been at Proterra how long?
Going on 8 years.
Yeah. Okay. So almost twice the time that I've been here. You're a legacy Proterran. Maybe can you talk about how you've seen just the battery technology at Proterra progress over the years? I mean, we're on our 5th generation of battery packs. We've been developing our own battery packs and manufacturing them in a while. We manufacture them out of the facility we're currently sitting in, and maybe just a little history lesson on Proterra packs.
Yeah, no, it's been actually really cool to see the evolution of, Proterra itself, but also the battery technology. As reading in the history books, Proterra, designed its batteries for transit buses explicitly. And so that's really where the technology was rooted and based, was in trying to optimize for those applications. And so, over the years, we found that these batteries have other applications that, they can go into and really excel in other, markets besides transit vehicles. And so that's included things like improving energy density, higher power output, things like that, to allow, different form factors to allow these packs to really be utilized and applied in so many different applications, rather than just, where we started in transit buses.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to see, even in the short time that I've been at Proterra, the transition and the different things that we've gone into and the different applications we've gone into. At Proterra and companies like Proterra, we're not just building batteries, right? We're actually engineering this complete battery solution, and it's usually specifically designed for the application it's going into.
Exactly.
And for us, it's typically the most demanding type of applications. Like, we talk construction, we talk mining, we talk these really just heavy duty, a lot of high run times applications, and you have to have super high energy density. They have to be very durable, reliable, and it has been really fascinating just to watch the evolution of our packs.
Yeah, and I really like what you mentioned on energy density, for example. Not every application can you just throw more batteries at it.
No.
Right. And so, just throwing a bigger and bigger battery into whatever vehicle it is, even if it could fit, is not always the solution. And in most cases, it isn't. And so optimizing that battery for that application, for things like, weight distribution, what kind of, onboard, storage they really need to run auxiliary accessories, and also the application in the sense of, when are they charging the vehicle, right? Are they able to charge it at lunch breaks? Right? Or do they need to charge it overnight? And so really, that's something that I think Proterra excels at, is helping, OEMs optimize their batteries, whether it's BEV or fuel cell. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got nearly 2 decades of knowledge into how to optimize a solution for various applications. So I think that's super beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of to continue on to that, we've been here in South Carolina for really that whole time, right? And so it's not only a great solution, that can fit into all these applications, but it's really something that we're building here with the engineering know-how and abilities that we have in this area, specifically with all the automotive manufacturing here.
Yeah, so you talked about being in South Carolina. There's actually a lot of benefit to being in South Carolina. Obviously, we're in the southeast of the United States, but there's a ton of benefits, even outside of just, there's a ton of automotive manufacturing around here, as well as we're kind of developing into something that is essentially being called or tagged as the battery belt, right? So maybe, I don't know, could you think of a few other things of why it's a great place to do manufacturing here in the state of South Carolina?
Yeah, so we honestly have, like you said, a lot of expertise and knowledge here. We've got great schools, universities in the area in South Carolina and North Carolina, Georgia areas that we can pull from to take that expertise and knowledge in the engineering fields to help design and optimize our batteries for the future.
Yeah.
So not just looking at what are we building today, but what can we design, and what technologies can we bring into the market that would help our customers. Also, obviously, we have places like BMW, we've got Michelin, all here with great expertise and knowledge in the manufacturing field to help us optimize our facility here in Greer, South Carolina, to make the highest quality purpose-built batteries we can.
Yeah. I even think about just our location in relation to even like for logistics. We actually have an inland port really close to us that runs because we have so many other automotive and manufacturing facilities around this area. There's an inland port that has like a direct shot to the Port of Charleston. We're not that far from Savannah, right? And these are huge ports that allow us to bring in materials as needed, and really even shipping to our customers logistically, right?
Yep, and that's where I see a lot of the benefit of being here. Is obviously I work with the customers, and getting them product on time to their facilities is key to what they're trying to do, so that they can meet their deadlines and get their vehicles out the door.
So we've talked some about how we work with our OEMs and we partner, but it is National Battery Day. So maybe can you tell me a little bit about what you think makes a Proterra battery pack special?
Yeah, I think, one of the biggest things, and I think I've mentioned this to you before, is, how our batteries are purpose built, and not just purpose built for transit buses, but they're purpose built for a lot of other rugged applications.
Yeah.
And so, right, these batteries, are in applications currently, in mining equipment, construction equipment, off highway, on highway. And with all of that, it's allowed us to gain a lot of experience and data, right, in real world use, right? And that real world use and data allows us to help improve our own batteries for whatever that next generation, thing looks like. And so, we're not just, a startup that's trying to launch a new product, right, into this, growing market, but we have, the expertise and knowledge and know-how that we've built over a lot of years of dedication that really kind of come together and are the whole package that our customers are looking for.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting. One of the big things that I think I see or that people talk about all the time is, one, our modular architecture, because we're able to supply batteries into these different applications because we can produce a battery that is essentially customizable in form factor to an extent, right?
Correct.
And that you can change voltages. Like, it's really tailored to the vehicle or equipment and the application it's going into, but also the safety features, right?
Exactly.
So when I talk to, depending on what application you talk to, but if I talk to a school bus driver, right, like they want to talk about the safety of the vehicle. If you're going into a mine, right, you're going several miles underground, I want to know that the vehicle is safe, or the equipment is safe, right? So safety really is at the core of what Proterra does. And I even think about how we operate as a company from a safety perspective, not just the safety features that go into our batteries, but even the safety of the people in our facility. We even talk about ergonomics all the time, and we have standing desks, and it's really fun if you're here at 5 a.m. in the morning, which I am usually not with the production crew. They actually start their day stretching every day. They really do care about the safety. We have a saying out here on the production line too, better never stops. And I think that really just applies to everything we do. It's not just a manufacturing practice and always looking in ways to continuously improve our manufacturing, but it's also looking in ways in how we engineer batteries. We actually recently, back at ACT last year, which is a big trade show that we go to every year, we introduced a new variant of our Onyx Strata series.
That's
right? So maybe some insight into what guides us when we're looking at new variants, and also just some more insight into what it means to truly be a partner of Proterra, because in my opinion, we're not just a battery supplier, right? I think we really are a partner to anyone that works with us.
For sure. I think both of those things set us apart. So to address your first question on kind of, what goes into, or what do we look at when looking at new variants? So back to your modular architecture point, because, our pack is built with modules that we can then utilize in different form factors, it allows us to, not have to design something from the ground up, right? So for example, we look at different applications with different partners we currently are launching with, whether it's, piloting, or we have been in the industry for a while. And we, analyze the shifts that are happening and the learnings that are happening in that application, and we're able to take that back and make adjustments to our product that don't require a full redesign. Right. And so some companies, they might have to tear it all apart and start all over, whether that's in the design phase or in the manufacturing. Right. And so we have, the way we've designed our pack has allowed us to kind of sidestep a lot of that extra work and be able to optimize, which I think is awesome. And then to your point on, being a partner, as Proterra is, instead of just a supplier, I've seen that firsthand with a lot of our customers, right? They've dealt with other battery suppliers who it's more of we'll call it an off-the-shelf product, right? So, you're looking at buying a AA battery, right? Okay, you can go to, the store and buy a AA battery. Do you want a massive, 200 kilowatt hour battery, 800 volts? Well, there's a little bit that goes into that. And so Proterra, we have a lot of this expertise that we've drawn on from our transit days, right? Working on these buses, where we actually have a whole team of engineers called our application engineering team. And this, team of engineers, their sole role is to help support our partners and not just drop a battery off at their doorstep like Amazon, right? So we're there to, work with the OEMs to help integrate our batteries and also optimize. So it's not just how do you plug it in, rather it's how do you get the best use out of our battery for your end customers.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have said that better myself. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this edition of our high-powered insights as National Battery Day. If you guys have any fun facts about National Battery Day, we'd love to hear them. And happy National Battery Day.
Thanks.